What is up, YouTube? Hellspawn here, back in HD. Thank God. I was really starting to get a little perturbed myself in watching those fuzzy, blurry, crapo videos. And not only back in HD, back with a review of some collectibles for you. Instead of those haul videos and Hot Wheels stuff, I got the real deal for you today. The things that I started off reviewing, the way that I got onto YouTube in the first place. Awesomeness. So yeah, as you can see, these are the 1/4 scale, 19 to 20 inch tall, brand new, well not brand new, I've had them for a while, but Neca Predators. I've been getting a lot of people that have just been like jonesing for this review, so I figured I'd finally make good on it and go ahead and get this review rolling. Got my new camera back, so everything is gravy, and this is the first thing I'm going to share with you guys. Now, first impression. Holy freaking crap, these things are freaking awesome. You know, to try and pick cons out of this, there's so many pros that it's almost like it just waters down the cons to the point where they don't even really make any difference on the figures. But you know, I'll tell you, everything about the sculpt, fantastic. The armor, fantastic. The paint is top notch. Everything is just really high quality, perfect, movie accurate. They're freaking phenomenal. The only things that I can say that I wish were done a little bit differently, which can almost easily be customized by you know, you, I, or anybody else, is these loincloth pieces in the front and in the back, they're on strings, and the strings are just a little bit too tight to the point where they don't really hang down enough to where they should be, and you kind of see the ball joints in here of the hips, and then on the back, which I'll show you in a few moments, you'll see that the back part is really high, and his butt cheeks are just hanging out, and it's a little funky. So, you know, but that's easily fixable. I mean, you could just cut these strings, go to your local, you know, craft store, Walmart, whatever, and buy some new black string and restring it yourself and just give it enough extra to where it hangs down to where it should be. So minor complaint there, nothing big. The smart disc doesn't really fit in the holder very well. As you can see, there's a gap here. There's like a lip, and this is almost made out of rubber, so it kind of stretches a little bit. I just take the smart disc and kind of push the edge of the smart disc down into this little inside lip. It leaves a little bit of a gap up here at the top, but you know, for all intents and purposes, it sits well, it displays well. But it would have been nice to kind of see like how, kind of like how Hot Toys has the little grooves where the disc like slides in there, or some other form, maybe a peg or anything at all, other than this, because it kind of hangs out. Not to mention when you force the disc down into that little groove, it kind of makes the disc bend a little bit and deforms it slightly if you put too much force on it. So, but again, another minor, you know, the way that I display my figures, I don't play with them. I usually don't pose them in crazy poses. You know, most of the accessories I'll leave the disc in there. So it's not like it's going to be out and about anyhow. But yeah, just a minor thing. Other than that, I really don't have anything bad to say except for on this Predator here. You see the combi stick, which I'll go ahead and take off and show you in detail. They both come with one. The Predator, the Warrior Predator over here, his does not open. It stays in the log form, and it actually does not extend. Which, I mean, I don't care because, like I said, I normally don't display them with a lot of stuff. I might display him with this, kind of just holding it or whatever. But if I'm going to display him with one shut, then I'm going to display him with one open, or vice versa. I really don't like to display every one of my Predators with the same accessories and stuff because they just look a little too monotonous all the way across. So, you know, this kind of works because, like I said, if I choose to display him with this closed combi spear, then this guy's going to have the open one, or if this guy has the closed one, then he's going to have the open one. You know, it really works out. It's a minor thing. The biggest dig I have on all of this is this right here. as awesome as it is, you know, it's a big, you know, 1/4 scale. Let me give you a spin of this thing and look at it. They made this to where it retracts, kind of retracts. I mean, it's a bit of a pain. Like, see, if this side's in, it's really hard to get this side to retract as well. It almost doesn't go all the way in. You almost have to leave it kind of out. These parts go in, and then and these parts go in. I'm not going to do it because it's a pain in the ass to get it back in. But if you look at it, it's very crooked because these things just kind of wobble around in here. And I know that there's limitations on, you know, construction and stuff, and it's kind of hard to make a collapsible spear where, you know, there's not some type of give or wiggle. But I mean, it's to the point where, I mean, it droops down a lot. I mean, there's a lot of wiggle in there, and in all the sections. I mean, the whole thing just, you know, kind of when he poses it, you can get it pretty much straight. But you know, if you touch it at all or move it around, it's gonna be all whacked out. Also, if you look up here, mine was like bent. I don't know, because of heat or stress or something. So the tip of his spear is like cocked to the side. I could probably heat that up with like a blow dryer or something and maybe get that back. But this is harder plastic. It's not rubber at all. So you want to be really careful, because if you bend this too much, you're going to snap it off and you're going to have some real problems. So like I said, really minor complaints about, you know, some of the positioning of the string, having too much tension where these don't hang where they're supposed to. And then the discs and everything look great. It's just the holster system for them is a little wonky. It doesn't work out too well. Also, on this guy, he cannot hold his smart disc. He can, over here on this hand right here, if you take his smart disc out, which, you know, just to give you a little look at it, it's nice and weathered on both sides. If you take his smart disc, this hand right here is molded properly where he can get the right fingers in the right places, where he can hold his smart disc just like that. But he comes with a closed hand, a splayed open hand, and then a gripping hand for the spear. So he does not come with a hand that can hold the smart disc for the Warrior Predator. And you can see his is just silver. But that's kind of a bummer too, that he comes with an accessory that he can't even hold. You know, I would have much rather just seen maybe like a set of hands on him and then 2 extra hands. They only give you one, the gripping hand, which replaces the open one. But it would have been nice to maybe see, you know, a fist, a smart disc hand, a gripping hand, an open hand, and vice versa on both. But, you know, again, minor. I wasn't going to display him with a smart disc anyways, but for someone who was, that may be a little bit of an issue for you. Moving on, the back side of these guys, and this is where I can show you the back problems with the butt showing. And it's definitely more prevalent on this guy than it is on the City Hunter. But I mean, look at that, man. He is all up in them hot pants, bro. He's going out for a night on the club, and he wants to get some. This guy's not too bad. I mean, you can still see his butt cheeks hanging down there. But I mean, this is supposed to, you know, be a little bit further down where it kind of covers it up. But like I said, the tension on the strings is just a little too high to do that. This guy, man, even if you lowered this thing down, I still think he's going to get lucky. But okay, but yeah, other than that, those are the only cons, the only gripes that I have about these. Super minor, super small. Definitely you can live with them. Everything about these guys is freaking awesome. The paint jobs, the netting, the sculpt, the heads, all the dreads are individually molded dreads. Each one has different dread rings. This guy's got the bone rings and stuff. He doesn't. The cannons on these are awesome. The cannons actually are on like a little track where they can swivel up. Kind of like they can swivel up on this little track up onto his shoulder. And they're on ball joints, so they have a total free range of movement. It's really cool. You know, the armor is done well. I mean, there's really just nothing nothing bad to say about these guys. I give them 11s out of 10s. I mean, you know, if it didn't have the few small gripes, I'd have given them a 12 out of 10 if I could. I mean, they're just so awesome. And don't even get me started on the whole price point issue. I mean, you know, come on. Two 20-inch tall quarter scale Predators that look freaking phenomenal for the price of one 6-scale Hot Toys figure. Now, yeah, Hot Toys, Hot Toys quality is a little bit better and whatnot, but hey, if you put a fantastic looking 6-scale Hot Toys figure in front of these guys and you say, look, this thing, the paint's better, the sculpt's a little bit better, the quality's a little bit better, it's $235 plus shipping, or, you know, with the next Predators that get released, I'm sure Hot Toys will bump up the price yet again. We'll be paying $250 or $260 for a Hot Toys Predator. But if they put one of those there and said, rounded it around to the average price of $230, you can have this for $230, or you can have these two for less than $200. Both of them. What are you going to pick? I mean, Hot Toys enthusiasts will say, oh, I choose Hot Toys every single time. But I don't know about you, but I would much rather have two giant, awesome-looking Predators for less than the price of one single Hot Toys figure. If NECA continues to make these guys in this line, this quarter-scale line, and continues to make the different variations of the Predators, like the Elder Predator, hopefully AVP, we know they have the Predators license, so they do a Berserker, a Falconer. I would be very sorely tempted to continue collecting Hot Toys. The one thing that Hot Toys has going for them is they make all of them. You know, they're going through and they're doing everything. So, I mean, there's Hot Toys Predators that you just probably won't see other lines making. And they do look fantastic, but these guys are, pardon my French, but if they keep this up, they're going to kick the ass out of Hot Toys. There's a reason why Hot Toys still has, or Sideshow still has Hot Toys Predators in stock on their website, and you can barely find an in-stock pre-order for these guys anymore unless somebody got a restock on them. I think Big Bad Toy Store was sold out for a while, and they just did, so if anybody's looking for them, that's your ticket. Here's a comparison with the P1. You can obviously see that he's just a wee bit shorter than the other two. Again, this guy I did a separate review on. He's freaking amazing. I love him too. They're a bit out of scale. If that bothers you, don't buy them. But I'm telling you, if you display these guys at different heights instead of just lining them up like this, and actually kind of display them in different areas, you really won't tell the difference. Not to mention the awesomeness of it just outweighs the fact that they're a little bit bigger. The posability on these guys is 10 times better than the posability on this. This guy just had regular rotating joints here. These guys actually have ball joints in their legs. They've got double jointed knees, ball joints in the ankles as opposed to this guy, ball joints in the multi-joints in the wrists, and the elbows are jointed. You got ball joints in the shoulders, ball joints in the head, fully posable on the plasma caster, whereas this thing rotated left and right and front and back. This one actually moves around. It rotates side to side, front, back, up, down, all over the place. Just really cool. This guy's about 18 inches tall, so you can see that these guys are just about a little bit taller, about 19 inches tall compared to the original P1. Price point is the same, which is really nice. It's nice to see that they're keeping that in line as opposed to other companies that continue to raise prices as new products come out. So bravo again, NECA. Thank you. And other than that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some close-ups to check these guys out nice and tight so you can get some of that detail that I'm ranting so much about. And it's going to have to be really quick. We're at 14 minutes, so to get this uploaded, I'm just going to give you guys some up-close and personals, and then we are going to be done. I got about 50 seconds to do it. So as you can see, the mask, the dreads, all the detail on the armor, the paint job is freaking fantastic. Everything about these guys is really awesome. And if you want some good quality, high definition photos, go to my Facebook. Just search for me as Hellspawn Collectibles on Facebook. And I just uploaded an entire album of pictures of these guys. But yeah, definitely run out, do what you can, sell something in your collection, max out a credit card if you have to, whatever. But you got to get these guys. They're absolutely phenomenal, and they're worth every single penny. So those are the NECA quarter scale Predators, and I definitely picked them up, and I advise that you guys do too. Check you later.